Alright folks, we are back with some War of Rights, third person, eye in the sky, whatever it is we're calling it. We're on Flemming's Meadow. I played this one once as the Union. It went absolutely terrible. But I'm not playing this one. I'm sitting up here and having a pretty good time. We had the experimental 500-man server. We lost a lot of people, man. After the last round, we had 430 or so. It's pretty cool. Anyways, we have a officerless unit. So I recognize Hi Man. I don't recognize as many names this time around. So a lot of it's new to me. Arty, gotta take a quick look at here. It's 11 for the CSA and 17 for the Union. So a slight Union advantage in artillery, but they're down by 14 people, which means the CSA should have a pretty healthy advantage when it comes to the infantry fight. Anyways, this one is a Union attacking map finally. It's been a while, and so we'll see if they're able to have as much success on the attack as the CSA has had on the last couple of maps. The last time I saw the defenders win was actually when the CSA was defending, though we didn't capture it on video in a very, very close race. So I'm pretty sure they won. I wasn't really looking at it, but so right now they're just trading volleys, trading independent fire across the field. CSA arty looks like it's in a pretty nice position. You got this gradual slope, right? You don't need a Nicodemus Hill-like height. It's more than you need. It's the CSA coming over here, but something like this is good enough. And this Union group broke through. Oh, I didn't know. I don't know how I missed Bell was leading. I saw him in the last round, but huh? I don't know. Looked like he was in charge there, right? Oh, it's part of this. That's why. Again, it's been a moment since I've actually casted these, so.
Hey, move up on me, move up! Move up on me, let's go, guys, let's go!
Alright, so this little tiny Union raid, so far the casualties haven't moved too much. That's usually to the defender's advantage. Alright, so, wow, there's a CSA group all the way up there. I'm guessing that's maybe Union arty back there. But yeah, CSA arty is in a very nice position. If they just want to shoot where their guns are, should be good enough. But of course you have the Union close enough that you really got to think twice about it. Alright, so they've pulled back. They being the Union who are over here. Bell's group, I'm guessing, is down here in a defilade, in the shade. That's always a safer place. CSA arty, you gotta realize, and this is... I started playing this game in arty for several years. You gotta realize when it's time to pull back and stop bleeding tickets. Because right now you guys are dying out of line, in skirmishing. I know you want to shoot the big guns. I'm right there with you, man. But you gotta wait till you get some relief. If anything, I think they got a gun. No, they didn't get a gun over here. Maybe you make use of these rightmost guns. You can sometimes wheel the caissons up and use them as cover. But yeah, run back here. Tell your friendlies what's happening, because your friendlies are about to see if the blue fellers make it up here. They're going to be looking right down on your friendlies who are over there, and that's going to be rough. So CSA should now know, hey, something's going on. If it's this battery, it's not the only. Bell's group could have gotten 2v1, but the other Union group is too far away to help. They're coming in late. We'll see if better late than never works. And CSA are going to come in as well. So it looks like we'll have two companies on two companies imminently. CSA flag, in my view, has wisely chosen to make sure you don't lose it. Where was the CSA group? Oh, they lost their flag and they're still up. They just didn't get it up. This is likely going to be at least one Union flag down. The second Union flag looked like half that group went in, the other half decided, no, and they at least kept the flag back. Yeah, I mean, this is going okay. Yeah, so it's evened out at 185 apiece. And so that should help the Union. And it seems like overall maybe it's slightly Union favored. You've done enough damage to the CSA that you could put them on track to put them in engaged by 27 minutes. This battery over here, I think this is where it's at. Even, is it all small? Is it just 3 guns? It might be, yeah. I don't know if it would be worth it. Let's see what they can see from here. Ooh, there's a lot you can see. There is a lot you can see. Perhaps, well, I don't know that you get all that much up here until, because you got to be at the gun height. And even over here, this is hard. This is like skimming the tops of it. But if you're worried about getting picked off from the Union up there, just roll the guns back. I wonder if the Union's trying to bait the CSA gunners to come up so that they can kill them in skirmishing, perhaps out of line. See, the Union rolled a gun up and got that guy. Was this? Is this still? That's
guys, get off the artillery. Officers' orders. Get out of there, guys. Get out of here. Move it back. Move it back. Move it back.
So I guess they don't want to skirm there. Yeah, the artillery guys.
Copy that. Hey, 14th Alabama, Company A, on me, boys.
You got a Union group clumped up over there. Yeah, if you are clumped up, you are arty bait. And the Union did put the CSA down a little bit earlier. Let's go over and take a look at things from... This is a map I can actually see stuff on, so I don't have to just stick with the attackers or defenders. It's an interesting artillery defilade here. Isn't that Union over there? Yeah, those are blue. Yeah, this Union position here is also very nice. What are they shooting? This looks like the, Why can I not remember the weight of that ordnance? It's not the Parrot. The 3-inch? Yeah, it's the 3-inch, not the 3-pounder. It's playing too much Company of Heroes. And even then, it's not 3-pounder, it's 2-pounder, right? So.
I know. We're going to try to hold as long as we can, but again, the only thing that's going to keep us safe right now, guys, is spread yourselves out. Bitter, how many's on the flag, though?
You guys are doing fine. I mean, Union just seems a little too dispersed for people who have to attack. Right, you got 2 companies there that are close enough to support each other, but probably not really good at, probably not close enough to each other and the enemy to really pose a threat to attack. I don't think you're going to bleed enough tickets at this range.
Look at your company, brother. You're level 50. You're running away from me.
And tellingly, I understand this because I remember doing this as the Union when we had to play it. But if you do move up this line, I mean, you could take that wooded area. I feel like you got at least some cover and concealment. You can make it bloody. You don't have to take the flag up unless you're sure you've won it. up to 390. So as long as they're going to skirmish at long range, I guess we just hang out in the artillery and see what they can do. They got the 12-pounder, 3-inch. I guess this is the gun I saw earlier. I think this is the gun I saw earlier. Was there one up there? But I don't believe artillery is going to do quite enough to put the defenders down where you want them. Alright, so the Union is content to shoot it out at long range here. I don't know. As long as the arty guys aren't getting picked off too bad.
Holy shit, boy! I'll tell you.
Yeah. I mean, this here is a potential fort. This whole defilade. You could use it to mask your movements, use it as cover, concealment, all that good stuff. And now the Union, just seeing Bell's group pull off, they're going to move up. Wow. And it looks like there's another Union push at the far side of the map. Guess they push from the one wood line to...
Moving right to left, east, southeast now. I'm gonna draw a
Yeah,
line
there
right
actually
there.
is something
right there,
of
delete
a...
'em. Take your cover in this road and you
Yeah.
engage them, boys. We
That's
have
true.
fun.
Yeah, you can do that if you come out here. Yeah. But I think you're just... you're not that far from cap. Alright, so Bell's group is in position. I assume that's this. I don't know.
Crouching and slowing your reload rate by half.
Whoa.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. You were hit by 2 artillery shells, and I think it killed like 3 people. That's a big old line.
Right down that line, boys.
But it looks like the CSA is pretty much playing this ridge.
Alright, boys, on
Right?
me, head north,
So you can
boys,
see
head
why it's
north.
hard.
Follow the line.
It's hard to hit them. Right, they're behind here. The artillery guys, they'll have to eat it if they do have to eat it. But I don't think their death rate would be fast enough to worry.
Here, boys, up here.
I don't know. Union's actually doing a pretty good job. They got the CSA halfway through engaged for 27 minutes. They got to keep the pressure on.
Thank you. Boys, shift right on me.
All right, so we got here just in time to see the Union charge.
With the few that remain and keep pushing. You
Yeah,
are
they're
meant to
gonna-
respawn on the flag.
They're
Keep
gonna
going.
run into
Keep
Bell's
going.
group. And it's did they take the flag in? Oh, it does my heart good to see that. Keep that flag back and safe. That way you can come back and do this again in a couple minutes if you want. You see the ticket trade, it was probably CSA favored,
There's a
but
flag.
they kept their flag back. Because they
Is that a
smart.
flag?
That is. That is. Now, where was the group that was over here? I guess they shifted down to the right. And they'll be respawning. I guess if the CSA wanted, if there are 2 companies there, they could probably push this group out of here at some cost to them in tickets, but then the CSA would have probably earned themselves quite a bit of time on the black timer if you push them back to that position and then make the Union refight this. But they don't know probably the full numbers that are back here just yet, and you might not want to overcommit and send 2 companies far right if that means the Union can concentrate 3 companies against 2 of yours over on the CSA left. Huh. So we got 1, 2... Huh.
Yep, keep on firing, keep on firing.
Alright, first Union company is moving up. We're going to see if they're going to get supported on their right. I think they are the leftmost. It's a small group of rocks, but it's not a lot. It looks like they're coming up to want to push that off. Alright, finally. Yeah, so there are 2 other Union companies. So there's 3 Union companies over here. Wow, the right side of that line got obliterated. Now, if they know they just blew their volley, oh, let's say they can move up and steal a very close range volley. If the Union moves quickly enough, I don't know, this company's getting cut up. I was to say these 2 companies might be able to knock that one back. But with the 2 guns in support, I'm not sure. And the hope, I think for the Union is that that 3rd company would stand off that one. It's still good news for the Union attackers. They're up by about a 1/3 of a morale stage. They got a good tick rate on the CSA's. Casualties got them down before the 17-minute mark. That's usually a good sign for the Union. All right, and so I guess now what is that company gonna do? All right, so I guess they're trying to get the manpower to push up. Guess they're gonna go for some out of formation deaths around the guns.
Guys, make a line.
And they've pushed that CSA group. That CSA group does not want to come up to the crest. Huh.
Welcome to the
All right.
war. Welcome to the war.
Alright, so I have no idea what's going on over here. Looks like a fat CSA line, backing up some guns, staring off that Union group. And I guess the 4th CSA company has now moved over here. This movement might have been too slow, because from that angle, you guys are probably at a disadvantage. You might have to finagle it a bit to the right with your loads in before you can go. Huh. Take a look and see what it looks like from the CSA angle, but alright, so now that 3rd CSA company is coming, that will probably tilt the balance against the Union, at least in terms of a successful attack. They might be able to get some... Oh, this is... You're just killing your team by doing stuff like that. Absolutely crushes them. But, yep. Yeah, there's no reason to. That was a good shot, whoever hit that. The Union's going to run. They're about to go taking losses. It's going well for the CSA. On defense, slight advantage in manpower. Nothing huge. And now this group has to know it's time to get out. Otherwise, they're going to get hit by at least 2 companies and some guns. And yeah, it's not a winning formula. You can see this company, I think, has hung around a bit too long. It's going to be a struggle to get that flag out. Probably got some out of formation deaths here at the end. Well, yikes. That is correct. Huh. Did the Union really make it up here? Well, that is a big whiff on my part. What the CSA probably knows, and I don't know the Union does, is that this might be the last functional Union unit. I think the other ones are fairly beat up. Maybe those are all like quasi-functional, but I think if they wanted to push the Union off of their artillery, I think the CSA could. It's unclear to me whether the Union knows what they're doing and that they're about to cap early, and maybe they just don't care because it's close enough on tickets that they figure, what the heck, make them come to us? You know what? If enough of them are here, I don't hate it. I don't hate it. And it looks like whether they were planning to or not, they're going to cap. I mean, from the CSA's point of view, I don't know how much you get out of this. Union has not yet elected to play Grand Theft Artillery. Although 1 or 2 canister guns would do a number, but that's a long run for Union artillerists. And having tried it, usually by the time you get there, you've lost the guns and you just die out of formation. That's not going to go the way you think it will. I don't understand that. CSA looks like they feel they have the time to make this dang flank. They do have the time, certainly if they want to. You can see it's an artillery and 2 infantry companies. I think that's the 3rd infantry company, and then the 4th is out there wrapping. I think the Union sees it already. Yeah, it didn't fool them, but it might not be about fooling them. It might be about dragging them out of position so that they can't stop both a push from that clump of trees and a push from the woods. That looks like a sizable battery, and I don't know. If I were the Union, I might be calling for reinforcements to just come down here and fill yourselves up. Oh, the Union's instead going to push on the other flank, which is a fine idea. If you think they're weak, go for it. I'm not sure the CSA is as weak as they thought they were. They don't look that weak. It looks like the CSA should win that.
Company flank us.
Yeah, I just wonder as the attackers now defenders, if you just move and force the CSA to make it desperate. But you can see the CSA is big in numbers over there, and they only have to slide down the back side of that defilade before they come over the hill and get into that point. And these folks have a little bit longer to go, which means as the defenders, and because you should have the element of surprise by being able to duck behind the hill, that means you should have the kind of shooter's advantage, and that the Union then have to basically charge, run while you're shooting, and that's what you always want to do. You want to make the enemy run while you're shooting, and you want to be running while the enemy can't shoot you. Now the CSA looks like they're still trying to drag this off. I don't know if the Union has to bend it like that. They could probably stay up in the rocks and in the concealment over here so they're not dragged that far away from cap. But you can see the CSA with just 1 gun and a couple of infantry, they're already recapping the point. And maybe it was just a ploy to... I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure what the ploy was there. This group is now in more trouble than it knows, as it's preoccupied with this and doesn't see the potential coming up the backside. And it is completely unsupported so far by those other 3 Union companies. But at least the officer and the flag bearer recognize the damage. They may lose tickets on the back end. They're okay with that because, you know, if you lose tickets here, it's just less to give the defenders, who are lower than you, but not that far behind you, when the recap happens. Yeah. So I don't know that much changes after that, except the ticket difference between the attackers and the defenders. The relative ticket difference goes away. And if I were the attackers, I probably would have wanted to make both sides bleed a bit more before giving that back. But the Union sides, at the end of that, one company, unsupported by the other. No, I guess that was just the color guard, so it was supported by the other. Union's doing it right. They're playing it conservative in terms of their flags, but I think they've gone a bit too far. They need to start pulling out now. Otherwise, it's going to be a full wipe. It's going to be a full wipe. But the Union can still make it bloody. Now that the 50-50 engagements are to their advantage, now that the recap session is over. This CSA group seems like they just want to... Oh, they're just moving to cut it off, but they'll get a couple of battle lines there, and that will probably negate some of the relative ticket difference. That Union group pulled back real far.
Oh my goodness, they found us out and chilling right there.
Oh, and they all stand up.
I wish I said that like 10 seconds.
Alright, CSA is going to push through here. Union's got numbers. They got packs leading them. That's good. They got... I thought Pilot Man was Pie Man. I don't know Pilot Man, but... that should be pretty good. And at least for the Union, they can make it bloody. That went much... I don't think the CSA knew how many were back there. If that blue wave keeps rolling... no. There's not more of a thought there. That is pretty much... I think that down tree is kind of the marker of the edge of the boundary over there. Yeah, that's right. Get out while you can. Both sides are about to go breaking more or less simultaneously. Which I tend to think, and with this much time, I tend to think is a slight advantage to the attackers, but it's not a huge one. See, the Union on the attack is actually up.
Get the flag, pull back, get the flag, pull back, pull back, pull back.
Yeah. So this is still anybody's game. This is the closest one I've seen. The Union's going to have to be disciplined in their remaining attacks. You know, whatever casualties Arty does, it is great for the ambiance.
Keep shooting.
Feels like there's generally too much Arty for the size of the servers, but for the ambiance of hearing them, seeing the smoke, seeing the shells explode, it is absolutely essential for that. Thought there might be a push on the far left. There is not. The Union getting healthy after that exchange.
Are you guys good over here?
Define good. You have a couple of ticket donors, I think, right?
Wow. Hey, those are rebels.
Hey, you killed the officer, and then you died in skirmishing or out of line. As the defenders, you don't want to be doing that. Well, as anybody, you don't want to be doing that, but it's about ticket efficient trades. It's actually about time ticket efficient trades, but who cares, right? Well, at least on the left, it looks like the CSA has cleared out the Union, and so it becomes an artillery duel, which as the defenders you got to be happy with, because artillery casualties tend to be a slow tick rate, much slower than a hot shootout or a melee. But the Union is inching closer. I don't think the Union understands, if they move to point right now, if those three companies got here, they could force the CSA into a very bloody trade. And again, as long as it's about 50-50, right, that CSA group is far away. That Union group is not that far off point. But stopping to shoot is probably going to nullify that advantage. You can see the CSA is now clumped up in those trees. That would be their staging ground to shoot into the point of contention. Well, you heard. Artillery officer should be telling him to run. Friend, if... Yeah. Unless that's got canister in it. Well, you saw it did the animation. I heard someone die. That's out of formation deaths you don't want. What is the pushover? That is some out of formation deaths here.
Yeah, we do have time.
Union's got to be well. It's gonna be bloody. The Union has to be careful with its flags. If they can get it embedded in here and force the CSA forward, they can do good things. It's looking like the CSA is just winning the shootout, though. They're gonna come around here. Okay, this Union company's it's gonna be a bloodbath on point. So let's just watch it. Oh, those Union flags got to know that the way out now is that way. One's down. One got out. Well, one's trying to get out. The second flag is trying to get out. I think he took a bad angle. Well, we'll see if he can fix it. Even if you get it close enough, that should be fine. Third one, he's got mud on his boots. Do not stay in that fight, friend. All right. Well, no. I'm sorry. You got to know better. You're alive now, but it's because they just want to cut off your retreat. See, that one didn't get out. This is to the advantage of the CSA. I would say up to this point, the Union has been slowly ahead, but as time has gone on, and you can see that yet another Union flag is down. So the CSA knows what's up. I think that they'd probably want to camp these flags because it burns several minutes of the black timer off. You could probably safely do that. No, you can absolutely safely do that and then just fall back in and play the ticket trade game. You can just sit in this defilade until the end.
Hey, did we win that melee?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I'm surprised. Okay, so they did leave a small group up here. I'm not sure if they left a small group or it's just... Yeah, it's two guys who don't know, and it's one guy who does. And he missed a shot. I don't usually watch 1v1s, but... Oh, you won that one. Oh, and you killed the level 1. But will you kill the level 16? Ah, so close. So close. And so... And that flag got out. Those last two are probably going to be a challenge to get. And that really limits the Union's options for what they can do, because a shootout... Having lost this, now the CSA arty is going to see him the whole way in. The CSA infantry is going to shoot him the whole way in.
He's a yank in disguise.
That is, well, you heard it here first.
And artillery. It's fucking wild.
Shotguns.
Right in the middle of that bush there, bro. That
Yeah.
little island there, forest area.
You see the Union's got a big move coming down the road.
No, we're losing slightly.
It's hard to tell when they have that hard.
Well, if they get the flag out, that's
Above
great.
the hill, above-
Oh my
You can
goodness.
get frisky, I don't care.
Oh, they let him have that flag. Those mobile spawn points are so huge. I mean, I usually hate loose formation because, you know, the ambiance, but stick a company up there of your own without a flag maybe, and just deny those flag recaptures for a couple more minutes. Or force the Union to push up in mass, fall back, and have your artillery and the other 3 companies nail them. Oh, man. Wow! They must just be... Is this for real? Is there like some sort of rule where you have... Is there a rule on the server where you have to allow people to get their flags back? That is absolutely wild. That guy stole that from up here. Holy moly. Well, it's not the way I would have done it, but who cares? That is an ambitious volley. Did anybody drop? Nah. But you wasted time that you don't really have, and you got no tickets, so there is that.
Everybody, over this line. Whatever the fuck shape this
I am confused. I don't know what this is. I mean, numbers are pretty even.
Well, yeah, if you lay us all down.
Alright, so there's a push up here. I get it.
Spread yourselves out. That line is short. Spread yourselves out. Hey, turn around if you're with me.
Well, at least they're up on the left. I mean, they're only that far from point. The other Union companies, I don't know if they've thrown in the towel or what. I don't know what to say. We'll watch the skirmish. My guess is the logic here is that they're going to pick off enough of the arty guys who don't know to take cover to basically put the CSA in the last stand. Right? Because this is actually pretty effective range to shoot at artillery. Like where infantry could trade reasonably well with artillery. And as the attackers, you have the advantage. Again, why you run rather than shoot, I will never know. But especially with the improved ballistics thing. You just spent all that time to die out of line and hurt your team. Like, I don't get it. Is there a tutorial for this game? I don't even know. So I see the point. CSA is about to go last stand. You could pretty much thank the arty guys for that because the infantry have been extremely disciplined. This is not really the time to be shooting artillery. I'm surprised the infantry guys haven't screamed at them. Maybe they are. I have chat off, so I have no idea what takes place. Or at least the artillery guys to scream back and say, look, you gotta get this infantry. You gotta clear them out of here. But I will say this, once they do go last stand, this company is in position to do something. Those are not. And so they're either going to have to wait and push, but the black timer is starting to get small. And I think part of this is the Union doesn't want to go final push and lose a lot of time off the timer. But I really wonder if the CSA arty just full pulled back, what would the Union do? Killed one guy. Killed one guy who's probably in skirmishing or in formation. I don't know what all that running is. What?
Stay, boys.
I mean, I gotta suspect that the plan is to charge in, put the CSA in the last stand during the charge, keep your flags back, and then hope to get a second charge.
Oh, is that them?
those. Alright, that got at least one. So you're gonna go last stand because most of you are out of formation, if not out of line. And so it will all come down to flag discipline for the Union. The infantry can go straight in. That, I believe, is the Union looping far left. As long as they get into the fight soonish, they should be okay. The Union got in there pretty well. A couple laggards, but the Union's advantage now is that they have a flag. We'll see how much time they lose as they're about to go final push. That group on the left, I don't know if they're shredding. The goal is to probably shred everybody behind the hill. But flag discipline will be paramount. And from the CSA's perspective, this is probably the last thing. You're going to try to shoot them down and charge them out, and either you win. I didn't have the timer up before they went, but it didn't feel like very much change there. The Union group's getting a little small. CSA group is not that small. Though none of them are respawning. The CSA has got to make it a choice. You either charge them out here, or that's it. Union just got reinforced by a couple of folks there. Wow, this has been a good one, but I think the Union is going to just barely pull this out. No, you're not going to win 3 minutes of shootout this close. Even with 200 guys on your side, I understand last stand isn't what it used to be when it was like, oh, you have 60 deaths. Now it's like you have 200, but this group here, you can see that deflate offered absolutely no protection against that, and I think the Union has already started moving in and cleaning up. The cap weight isn't quite there. The CSA is now charged in now that it's too late, and the Union has been able to respawn their casualties. And you see that's just a massive blue wall. So this will be a Union dub. The flag discipline at the end was fantastic. We'll take a look at the final casualties, but the CSA seemed like they were doing very well, and I'm just not sure at the end there, that decision to, one, let the Union get their flags back so easily, and two, to allow the artillery to keep shooting. We've gone to slow-mo, so that must be it. Because I think that those flags, again, unless it's like a server rule that you have to allow them to recover, I can't imagine that's a thing, even though it's the official test server. I would have had to imagine that would have set at least two companies back several more minutes. Particularly if they picked the flag up and then it got dropped, right? Because then I believe the timer full resets. All right, let's look at the casualties here. CSA defenders. I mean, on the out of line score, CSA is not doing well. On the skirmishing score, they're doing better. So maybe on balance, it's about okay. And they're certainly taking less, and that's what they should do. Yeah, they're making the Union take more. CSA is still taking a lot of out of line. Again, much better on skirmishing. Union took far more skirmishing, at least initially. That was a bloody one. That was a fun one to watch. That was close, kind of back and forth. So, yeah, I enjoyed that one. Hope you did too.